Women will show you the smile, the charm, the sweetness. But behind that soft exterior, there's a game they'll never admit they're playing. They guard certain truths like their life depends on it. Not because they're evil, but because if men ever saw the reality, they'd stop chasing and start leading. In this video, I'm pulling the curtain back on what women secretly hide from men. Once you see this, you'll never unsee it. 1. They crave power in the dynamic, even when they act like they don't. Here's what most men miss. Women don't just want love, connection, or romance, they want power. And here's the wild part. They'll deny that fact until the very end. Every woman wants to feel secure, desired, and chosen. But beneath that emotional layer lies a deep craving to hold influence over how things unfold. That's why most male-female interactions turn into subtle games of control, not honest conversation. Think about it. The girl who says she's just going with the flow is often testing how far she can shape your reactions. The one who acts laid back, usually the one pulling strings quietly. Women masterfully hide their need for control behind charm, gentleness, or silence. Here's why. Power equals safety. If she controls the tempo, the mood, and your emotional investment, she feels secure. She decides how much to give, how much to take. That's why she enjoys when men orbit her, compete for her, chase her. It's not wickedness, it's survival instinct. But when she meets a man who doesn't fall into that orbit, something changes. She respects him because he doesn't hand her control on a silver platter. What men rarely realize is that women will never admit this openly. She'll talk about equality, balance, fairness. But once she gets a man she can fully control, attraction fades fast. Because wanting power doesn't mean she wants to be the ruler. It means she wants to feel her influence, then meet a man who doesn't get consumed by it. That's why some men end up in the friend zone, even after treating her perfectly. They gave her total control of the frame. She got bored. Meanwhile, the man who holds frame, who doesn't flinch, becomes unforgettable. Women keep this secret close because they know once a man sees it, everything changes. The man who understands this doesn't chase, doesn't overgive, doesn't pedestalize. He leads, and when he leads, she follows, not because she's weak, but because her attraction locks in. That's why charm beats begging, presence beats praise, and leadership beats approval seeking, every single time. 2. They want to be chosen, not adored. This one stings for most guys. Men think women want endless attention and admiration. They don't, they want to be chosen. There's a huge difference. Every day, women are bombarded with attention, likes, messages, stares. But deep down, all that noise dulls them. It doesn't fulfill them, because they know most men aren't choosing them. They're just desperate for anyone. What makes a man unforgettable isn't how much he desires her. It's how selective he is. When a man with options locks in on one woman, it hits different. She feels desired, but more importantly, validated. It says, out of everyone I picked you. That's the emotional hit she craves. So women hide that desire to be chosen behind fake indifference. They act like they don't care, like they're in control, but their biology lights up when a man who doesn't need anyone still chooses her. That's why availability kills attraction. If she knows she's already got you without earning it, the spark dies. There's no thrill in being handed something. The excitement comes from being claimed by a man who could have had anyone, but didn't. Men who pedestalize women never pass this test. They drown her in attention too early. No mystery, no challenge, no choice, just hunger. And though women won't admit it, they despise that. They want to feel special, not because they exist, but because they stood out. That's why emotionally grounded men with self-respect are so rare and magnetic. They don't chase attention, they command it. She may brag about the attention she gets, but the man she can't stop thinking about, the one who made her earn it, that's the truth she'll never confess. Because if she did, she'd lose her advantage. She doesn't want to be liked by everyone. She wants to be chosen by a man who doesn't need her, but still wants her. That's where obsession begins. 3. Their innocence is an illusion. One of the greatest tricks women ever learned is the performance of innocence. Not because they're saints, but because they understand the power of appearing pure, untouched, or different. When she's interested in a man, she'll subtly change how she presents herself. Softer voice, gentler energy, maybe a shy demeanor. Not always lying, but carefully managing perception. Because she knows men are wired to value purity, gentleness, and mystery. That's why you'll hear guys say, she's not like the others. Spoiler, she probably is. She's just better at presentation. Women know their image is their weapon. Looks grab attention, but presentation hooks emotions. And innocence is one of the strongest emotional hooks there is. A woman who's had a past won't lead with it. She'll frame her story to appear softer, more unique. Why? Because she knows men equate innocence with loyalty, sweetness, and being special. And she wants to be chosen, remember. But the illusion doesn't make her bad, it makes her strategic. That's why men fall hard and fast. They think they found a rare gem, but they've just fallen for a refined image. The men who don't get played are the ones who don't pedestalize that illusion. They stay alert. They understand women are human, not angels. They give trust only when it's earned. This innocence act, women will never admit it, because it exposes how much control they have over perception. But it's real and powerful. 4. They judge men more than they admit. Women love to say they don't judge, that they just go with the vibe. Truth is, they're constantly evaluating every move, every pause, every reaction. How you walk, talk, text, lead, or hesitate, she's watching. And her judgment isn't just surface level. She's assessing your strength, status, and masculine energy without even realizing it. She may smile, nod, act easygoing, but inside, she's ranking you. That's why some men get labeled just friends within seconds. Not because they did something wrong, but because they gave off weak signals before realizing the game even began. And here's the truth: women won't tell you the real reason they lost interest. They'll say, it just didn't click. But behind that, they saw uncertainty, hesitation, softness. Men who understand this don't crumble under silent judgment. They move with calm confidence, like men who know they're the prize. And when she feels that, her judgment flips in your favor. Women hide this side, because admitting it would expose how transactional modern attraction really is. Once you understand this, you stop trying to please, and start commanding attention. 5. They want to be dominated, but will never say it. This one's explosive. Most women swear they want the nice, sensitive, understanding guy. On paper, yes, but what they feel in their body tells a different story. Women are biologically wired to respond to dominance, not aggression, not control, but calm, confident leadership. The man who can lead the energy of the moment, take charge without asking, set the tone, he flips a primal switch in her she can't explain. That's why she can date the safe guy, but fantasize about the one who made her feel something raw, real, alive. She'll never admit that out loud, because it breaks her polished image. But dominance doesn't mean barking orders. It means moving with certainty. Owning your space, giving direction, making her feel her feminine energy has a place to land. When she feels that energy, she relaxes, she leans in, she follows. But when a man hesitates, overthinks, or gives her control, the spark dies. That primal attraction shuts off instantly. Here's the truth she hides best: she wants dominance not because she's weak, but because it makes her feel feminine, safe, and alive. She'll never say it, but she'll feel it every time you lead like a man who knows his worth. Once you understand these hidden truths, the entire game flips. You stop chasing, and start moving like the man she can't manipulate. If this opened your eyes, hit like so more men wake up. Share this with your brothers, and subscribe for more unfiltered truth. Most men miss this: women don't merely seek romance or love. They want power in the relationship dynamic, even if they pretend otherwise. The crazy thing is, they'll deny this reality with every fiber of their being. While every woman seeks to be wanted, chosen, and safe, there's an undercurrent. A hunger to control how the relationship unfolds. This is why interactions often feel like a subtle game of control, rather than an open, honest discussion. This does not imply you should act like a macho caricature, or bark orders. It means moving with certainty, owning your space, giving direction, and making her feel that her feminine energy has a solid anchor to lean against. When she feels this energy, she melts, she follows, she leans in. When a man hesitates, overthinks, or relinquishes the reins to her, something within her switches off. That inexplicable spark disappears. And here is the truth she conceals best. She wants this dominance not because she is weak, but because it makes her feel fully alive, feminine, and safe. She won't say the words, but she'll feel it every time you lead like a man who knows his own worth. Once you truly understand these hidden realities, the game is reversed. You cease chasing, and start moving like the man they cannot control. If these insights have opened your eyes, hit that like button to help more men wake up. Share this with your friends and subscribe for more raw, unvarnished truths. And in the comments, let me know you see the game by typing "I see it now."